Hey, Honest community. Before we dive into this episode, we've got a quick free favour to ask. If you enjoyed the Honest Property podcast, please hit like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're listening from. It helps us grow, reach more people, and bring on guests that you want to hear from. Thanks for being a part of this. We appreciate you more than you know.
Hello, you're listening to the Honest Property Podcast. We're hosts Becky and Bruce, the Honest Property Sisters. We've built a multi-million pound property portfolio over the last now 14 plus years. We realized there was an error in the original intro. It's actually been 14 years now, not 12. But on this podcast, we love having unfiltered chats about building wealth, purpose, and freedom that actually feels good. And today's episode is going to be all about AI. And AI, was it supposed to save us time? So why are we still busy? So if AI was supposed to give us our time back, it was meant to help us have less admin, less work, more freedom. So why on earth does it still feel like we're still busy? We're still catching up, and in some cases, we're just more overwhelmed. Because so many people right now are wrapping their heads around using AI. You don't want to be behind and irrelevant and not optimizing
Irrelevant.
your life and business. But it can often do the opposite effect and not make your life feel any lighter. Have
Mm.
you ever felt like that yourself before?
Right, this
Uh,
episode is not going to be talking about what tools to use. We've gone through an episode um, with that previously, which you can check on one of
mm,
our other podcast episodes. And it's not about how to make money with AI. There's so much of that already online. We're talking about how AI is actually affecting your time, your work, and your life right now, and why something designed to simplify things isn't automatically making your life simpler.
mm. And this, like, we use AI. Let's just make this very clear. This isn't anti-AI. This is awareness of how you use it. So why AI hasn't made life feel easier is the expectation trap. So we live in a very instant
Gratification,
instant gratification society when we want things done now.
which has happened more and more and more since social media.
Yeah. And it hasn't just made everything faster. AI hasn't just made everything faster, it's raised everyone's expectations. We want quick replies, more content, faster output. And there was research from McKinsey and Company that suggests that generative AI could significantly increase productivity across industries. But the big catch here is the productivity gains don't always reduce the workload.
Hmm.
They often increase expectations. So instead of, oh, this takes less time, it's because, oh, now you can do more in that exact same amount of time.
Yeah, I would say I am guilty of this when AI was first became free. Oh, hand. Became a thing that we started to use more, and it wasn't really a thing. I know there's always been AI around, but like for us to be able to use it whilst we worked, I would say I'm definitely guilty of um using it to keep on working instead of reduce my workload like 100% because you're like, oh, efficiency is everything.
Yeah. Like, oh, now I can do more.
Yeah,
That
not
is,
realizing that doing more, we're not robots, that doing more is going to burn you out.
let's say AI saves you an hour doing something. You're going to read a lot of people, and we're just saying this again from my own experiences, that you accidentally refill those hours, or someone where you work will get you to refill those hours with more work. And apparently, this is a known behavioral pattern called time substitution in behavioral economics because we don't naturally protect our free time, we just replace it. So I feel like AI is at this point, I don't know, it'll get really smart eventually. At this point, it is a tool, just like money is a tool. It's how you use it. That is your responsibility and the thing that you do have control of. The AI is not the issue, it's how we use the time. That's what
And
it is. Like,
and I
are you protecting your free time?
I was literally about to say that. Are you, when you've used and you've been so efficient with your AI tools, with your work, you need to protect the time, like to be able to just not feel like you need to do more work. Protect that peace, protect that time so that you can, if without that and you are constantly working, then you're not having that mental space. Can you even really think anymore for yourself? You know?
Yeah. And more tools, because there's so many amazing new ones put out there all the time.
Always a new one developed.
Yeah, is actually it can be more mental load. So even though AI has created more tools, more options, and more ways to do things, which sounds really helpful and can be, it can often create decision fatigue. When Ruth and I were consolidating all the tools that we use for our business, um, it was a bit, I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit overwhelming figuring
Mm.
out, okay, what is the best tool then for us when there's
And
just
how many tools
so
do we
many?
actually need?
Yeah.
And I
Um,
think I was listening
mm,
to a podcast recently and it was just talking about where because we are in the AI space
mm,
and it's only ever gonna grow really rapidly. The more you're gonna they said that you're going to see more and more AI tools, softwares being created. And so
yeah.
then that means it will be cheaper to be using these tools, but then it also means that there's going to be more people signing up to these softwares and quickly removing those tools when there's something else that's better.
Yeah.
So,
I
because
also,
there's an overwhelm of AI, we are going to be in all of these AI tools are going to be in competition with each other to be the better price and to try and keep their customers using those tools.
mm, I also feel like it raises the baseline of expectation, you know? Like, if that's become the new standard, it can only, like, the standard's only going to continue to raise, like, the productivity standard level is going to continue to raise. And it's like,
That becomes superhuman.
yeah, or not even human. It's just a lot of pressure to make sure your next steps, probably using AI, improve every time
Mm.
as you go, and that's just a lot of pressure. So,
You have to learn quick.
hmm, and making those choices, there was a piece of research in cognitive psychology that shows that more choices can actually reduce satisfaction and increase stress. Linked to work by Barry Schwartz in The Paradox of Choice. So instead of feeling clearer or better about it, people just feel more overwhelmed. The other thing is you feel like you should be doing more. Like, oh, okay, now AI is this. I have no excuse. I should be
No,
doing this better.
yeah, you have now no excuse to switch off and keep being proactive and productive.
Yeah, I could be doing more. So even when you're doing enough, it doesn't feel like you're doing enough because you know there's so many options out there to help you do things better or more.
Yeah.
Um, I've heard of people just like collecting all these AI tools and they've become like AI junkies. Um, yeah, be careful of that because they all sound brilliant, but is it necessary?
Isn't it funny that everything comes back to slowing down and being mindful of what you're even consuming, even when it comes to AI?
Yeah.
They even have to do an audit for that too.
Mm,
The way we work hasn't actually changed. AI is new. It's not, well, it doesn't feel that new anymore. But most people are still living in the same schedules and the same expectation and the same structures that was how we started. So we've added all these powerful tools without changing how we live or work. So then that creates that mismatch in our brain and holds that tension of are we are we doing enough constantly? Because our brain, being human, cannot keep up with the AI brain.
if you hear a cat, in the background. My local cat likes to visit us every now and again, and he's quite loud. And I think anyone who knows cats knows you can't tell them what to do. So
Yeah.
apologies. Um, so what actually helps? The answer isn't just use more AI to systemize and optimize everything. It's just about using it differently and like what the heck you're even using it for. Which tends,
Remember, like I said before, like are going to have more and more and more and more and more choice of softwares of AI. So it's not about accumulating more of these softwares, it's about using them differently.
yeah, so how would you use them differently?
So instead of asking it like it's Google, because everyone goes into Google, guilty of it, and is asking, oh, like how do you make a cup of tea? Sorry, this is a terrible example. But instead of, okay, you can use AI by saying, okay, I need to make this whole plan, and this is all of my evidence and my documents to be able to, and like give loads of evidence based on the plan that you want to take action with. And then it will help you come up with a plan instead of just being like, tell me what to do. You're prompting it. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. Do you see where I'm coming
As
from?
in being more specific, is that what
Yeah,
you're
like
saying?
being more specific, but having actual, like, don't use it like you're talking to Google because that's
Yeah.
what majority of people are going to like do already. Like,
Mm. Oh, give
you're
it context on your situation.
exactly like
Yeah.
make like use you as a human to
Mm.
give it context, not just ask it to tell you what to do. And I think that's the borderline of what people are doing right now.
Yeah, it's learning how to use it properly and making sure it still helps you in line with the goals you've set out to achieve, which probably isn't to work more. Um, so you can include that in your prompt. Um,
But also, like, what is it that you want? What do you want AI to do more of and you want to do less of?
yeah.
So,
So it could be, what do I want to remove from my life? Like admin, repetitive tasks, low value things, and using it to eliminate things in your life, not
or
it
add more work.
grow more things. Ruth
Like,
and I,
Becky and I are very much about like get your time back. That is like true wealth to us.
yeah,
Like having your time back to slow down. I do feel like that is such a luxury in this day and age
yeah,
where everyone just feels like they're on a hamster wheel. I don't know if this is just our generation or this is also the generations above us still, but I haven't lived that experience yet. But to protect the time that you do get back, because isn't that the whole point of why we're working?
mm,
You can love what you do, but if you are, like I say, like this is lived experience, you can love what you do and really, really love the business or the job that you've created for yourself, but you can still be a slave to it and not know that you're in your own hamster wheel and forget to enjoy life outside of work.
yeah, so true.
Before we continue, here's a quick thought. Ever feel like there's just never enough time to focus on what really matters in your business? You don't have to do it all alone. As they say, a great team makes everything easier. That's why we've partnered with the Freedom Geek. Their talented Filipino VAs help us with tasks like admin and podcast editing, just like for this episode, giving us the freedom to focus on what really moves the needle. If you're looking to reclaim your time and to work smarter, then check out the Freedom Geek. All the details are in the show notes. Now let's get back to our conversation.
So if you want to protect the time you get back, and if AI is meant to save you time, don't automatically refill it then. And don't just try and keep growing your output, but growing more space in your life. So even if that space is more time for thinking, more time for walking, snorkeling, or just doing nothing, that is precious. And I
Yeah.
think that's something we need to practice building into us because AI is just there when we need it. So it's like something we
become a
need to
slave to it.
train ourselves to remember to do.
Yeah, AI has been trained so that it gives you information. It doesn't mean that you need to absorb all this information. Limit what you consume, fewer tools, fewer opinions. I think Becky said in the last podcast that we just recorded, which is like removing the opinions from socials as well is a big one. Um,
Yeah.
and just fewer strategies. Like just simplify your ecosystem of life and your world. You know, you don't need to have like AI is going to continue to boom. So protecting simplicity is such key.
Yeah. Probably give you an edge over like overcomplicatedness of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't replace your decision making. It's there to give you space and help you decide how to move forward based on the context of your life and decision. And making AI align with the life you actually want. As simple as it is, and simple is not a bad thing. Simple is like the best thing, and not the other way around. So avoid being like, how do I use AI like everyone else? But use it more like, how is this going to support the life I actually want? Because then you are stepping away from comparison and trying to jump on a hamster wheel you never really wanted to be on.
Yeah. So with the AI world, if the default in AI, like because it's supposed to make life faster, but also simpler, but it really isn't, then moving faster doesn't make it better. It's about it really being intentional with the AI that you do decide to use. Don't just use it because someone else says that you should use this system or use like really take time to have your own opinion on that yourself. An example is just because someone uses ChatGPT, but actually you'd benefit better from Claude. Don't use a ChatGPT.
Yeah. Or even, well, we use AI for our property management. And I'll just say it, if you have one property, you don't need this. You don't. It's if you are acquiring, yeah. If you are if you have a lot of properties to manage, it's just a really great way to have an overview of your whole portfolio, manage all your tenants from one place. Like, love it. We wished we found this app sooner because it would have made life a whole lot easier. But if you only have like a couple of properties, you don't need it. And you're not planning on growing, you don't need it. Like, there's just some things you just absolutely won't need.
Yeah, you're just eating your profit margin by just adding another software
You
in.
can do things manually. Like, it's okay to do some things manually.
I think
Um,
there's truth in like analyze how much time you want back, but if something is like so minimal and it really barely takes much of your time, but you're trying to over systemize everything, sometimes we were also talking about this earlier before the podcast, which is like the whole convenience thing. Sometimes it's not even convenient anymore.
Oh yeah, that's what I really wanted to add because sometimes before we record, Ruth and I just blah at each other and think, yeah, let's say it in the podcast and then forget to say it. But right now I'm living on a little island that doesn't offer the conveniences that the city of Bristol um did before where we used to live. And it forces you to slow down. If we don't create this demand, like we're the ones who create this demand, if we demand less, then we all reduce the expectation of productivity. It's okay that things aren't that fast. Like things don't have to be at the snap of your fingers. It's actually quite freeing. So yeah, we just don't need that much. Like everything is instant gratification. Yeah, instant gratification. We don't need stuff that done that fast. We don't. Yeah, and living here really makes me reflect on what I truly prioritize, and that's time being in nature, and just a slower pace of life.
When you live in a city, though, convenience culture is like a huge thing, and that
Yeah.
reflects into AI
Yeah.
too. Like, I just think that you are forever keeping busy.
Yeah. You have to be all the more aware of it and not try and balance that pressure out for yourself. So you're not alone if that's how you feel. The tools have changed, they keep changing, but the way we live and the things that we truly prioritize as humans hasn't caught up with all that yet. And maybe the goal isn't to use AI to do more things for us, it's to do less. For us to is to help us do less and do and think better, build a life that actually feels good and fiercely protect the freedom that it's meant to bring us. Because
Because wasn't that the
otherwise,
point?
what's the point?
If this episode's got you thinking about how you're working and living right now, then we do talk about this kind of conversation in the AWC. It's where we want to continue to discuss our real life decisions.
We
Uh,
also share our actual AI tools and everything we personally use in there. Um, because we have filtered a lot and it's better to have better quality things that are actually going to serve you than just signing up for stuff that is for the sake of doing it because everyone else is.
mm. So just DM us on Instagram, on socials, AWC if you'd like us to send you a link. But we'll see you in the next one. Really appreciate you listening to this one. And if there's anything that we haven't covered yet that you'd like us to cover as a topic, then do let us know.
Bye.
Bye.